everyone, welcome back to Voidheart Studios, and today I am going to be reviewing the Skewer by Charamile Designs, also known as Taffy, also known as Lonko. Taffy, because that's their logo right there. So yeah, this is the Skewer. And this is specifically a skewer that I got from Pink Dragon Tuning on Etsy, so yeah, this does have a special version of the hardware kit for the skewer, so just a note of that. So let's get into the overview. Starting up at the front, there's this pretty cool 3D printed P-car that I got from Pink Dragon Tuning, and it came with this blaster. Moving back, you have the exposed barrel. I have a 12-inch barrel, but the barrel is very easily replaceable. All you have to do is remove a couple of screws and you can just yank it out. Moving up to here, you have a front little sight reticle. This piece can be taken off, and there is another piece that you can get that just doesn't have this and just has the part that grabs onto the barrel. Moving back here, you have the magazine and breech. This is a cute little 3D printed Talon that I got from, again, Pink Dragon Tuning. I did not know I was getting a mag with this, but yeah, I got a 10-round Talon, which is very, very cute. Up above the breech is a little bit of Picatinny tactical rail for you to put on an optic or some sort of other sight. And then moving back further from there is the plunger tube and the priming rod. To prime the blaster, you pull back and then you push forward to chamber a dart. And then you pull the trigger to fire. And I actually got some pretty good velocity out of this blaster. One variant that does come from Pink Dragon Tuning's version of the Skewer hardware kit is that it has a brass ram core. I don't know what difference that makes, but I'm sure it's probably something. And yeah, this blaster doesn't have slam fire, but with it being rear pull prime like this and essentially being functionally a Talon Claw, I wasn't expecting it to. But yeah, that really covers the overview. This is a rather simple blaster, but let's take it out on the range and have some fun. Alright, we are out on the range. I managed to find a lull in the rain because it's rainy today, but it's not raining right now, so yeah, skewer time. I'm going to start off with worker darts, and I'm not going to shoot but two 12-round mags because, again, I want to get this done before the rain starts again. So, yeah. Starting off with worker darts. Let's go. There we go. Oh no. It's starting to drizzle again. Damn it. Alright. I gotta do this quickly. Dart gun mags get a lot of friction in this thing. Okay. Nitro darts. Let's go before it starts really raining again. Alright, that's it. Range demo's done. It's starting to rain. Let's go back inside and yeah. Alright, we are back inside with the skewer. Let's talk about it. Starting off with the practical stuff. I put this blaster up over my chronograph and I achieved an average velocity of 193 FPS, which is pretty good. It's a Talon Claw, so that makes sense. My Talon Claw right now is hitting in the 190s. I need to retune it though, get a better spring in it, because Out of Dart's done a spring that's too small. But yeah. Continuing with the practical stuff, this is just a very interesting blaster. You don't see, you know, direct prime, mag-fed primaries very often. I personally know of one such example that I have grown a distaste for since reviewing it. For those of you who don't know, I am talking about the Siren Gnarl. But this is a lot better than the Gnarl, because it hits like a beast. And I do like it for that. It feels good to hold, it feels good to use, and it is very well balanced for, like, for holding it with one hand. Because all the weight of the blaster is in here, right above the grip. So it makes it very easy to one hand and whip around. Of course, you still need your other hand to prime the blaster, but yeah, you can whip it around with one hand. And I could see this being a good primary for shield users, with a very manageable draw that I'm sure you could make lighter by just changing the spring. I don't quite know how to get into this thing yet to do that, but I'm sure it's not hard. By just changing the spring, I mean, you can get a lighter spring, you can get a heavier spring. Though if you want to go too much over 200, I'd recommend getting the Harpoon, which is a remix by Silly Butts that essentially caliburnifies it. Gives it a longer plunger tube, a longer draw. But yeah. So with the skewer, I would recommend using it for a shield primary. And especially like if you've got your hand wrapped around a handle of a shield, you can do that to prime. And yeah, it's good for occupied hands because of how this rear pull system works. That's really all I have to say about practical stuff and unique use cases. Let's get on to my opinion. Overall, my opinion of this blaster is very positive. I really like this blaster. It's very, very cool. It's very fun. I got it in my colors. It's pink and white and awesome. And it looks like cherry blossoms. If I could find like a sticker of cherry blossoms, I would put it on like the front of the receiver, or maybe down here on the magwell, or maybe on the plunger tube housing. But yeah, it's just a very nice blaster. It feels good to hold, it feels good to use, it feels good to reload. It's just a nice blaster. It feels nice to use. And now I'm going to blather on about Pink Dragon tuning because I'm not sponsored or affiliated with them in any way, but I got this fully printed, fully assembled, and they allow you to pick up to 4 colors, and they only charge you $75. Like, this guy hates money, I guess. Like, $75. This is probably the cheapest I've had to pay for a custom ordered non-stringer blaster ever. And that's nice. I like that. But you don't just get the blaster and the P-car, you get extra biddies. You get more biddies. First of all, he sends 3 of those P-cars, or at least to me he did, as well as a short stroke plunger head assembly for lowering the FPS without needing a spring swap, basically by just making the draw shorter. O-rings and screws and all that junk, as well as a sightless version of that front cap, and about a metric bajillion stickers of his persona, which I think is cool. I've got 2 of them on my mini fridge, and I might throw more of them on my blaster cases, or just anything I feel the inherent need to sticker bomb. So yeah, if you order from Pink Dragon Tuning, you get extra biddies. Like, this again, there was no deal for this, there was no special thing. I didn't even know I was getting these. What I was expecting was this. I was expecting just this. Just the blaster, barrel, no P-car or B-car or anything at all. No mag. I even bought an extra worker P-car from Out of Darts to use for this, only to find out I didn't need one because this guy gave me 3 P-cars and this cute little 10-round 3D printed Talon mag, which I will forever and all display in this thing, and a bunch of extra biddies. And this was all to just some random schmo on Etsy. Like, I was just some random schmo ordering blasters from this guy. Definitely give Pink Dragon Tuning a look. He's got $75 fully assembled Skewer. What else could you ask for? The Harpoon I think he's got for $95 or $100. I can't remember. But still, that's pretty cheap for the Harpoon. But yeah. I absolutely recommend this blaster, and I absolutely recommend that shop. If you did enjoy this video, then please do leave a like and subscribe. Comment your favorite thing about the Skewer, and I will make sure to leave links in the descriptions to not only the files of the Skewer and the hardware kit from Out of Darts, but I will also leave a link to Pink Dragon Tuning's shop on Etsy, just in case you're like me, you don't have a printer, and you want a super cool 3D printed primary for a good price. And that's all for today. I will see you all in the next video. Goodbye!